Hi, I'm Joshua Lisec. I am the world's only award-winning, celebrity-recommended, #1 international, best-selling, certified professional ghostwriter, who is also hunkered down here during the outbreak, probably like you are, a little concerned about this coronavirus business. Maybe you've been stocking up on vitamin C, other essentials to boost up your immune system. And while you're working remotely, while you got the kids at home, while things have changed a little bit in our schedule, you're also having a little bit more free time because there's not that many events that have actually been remained on the schedule. So you're kind of sitting around thinking, maybe now is a good time to start working on my story, my novel, my memoir. After all, autobiographies are basically accounts of your life. They should read like a novel. They should be that engaging. Well, I am here today to share with you the publishing industry standard for successful stories, how to structure, outline, start, end, all the things you need to do to write a commercially viable novel, to get a boost on your writing journey toward successful authorship. I have a free session available to you. It's called A Profitable Book Roadmap. It's 60 minutes, and during that time, we will look at your book premise. Is this a story that's going to be selling well in the months to come, in the years to come, especially during the pandemic we're seeing right now? During crises, book sales always go up, but not across all genres, all categories. Is yours going to be one of the categories that people go to in order to get that escape, that entertainment for $10, $20, 99 cents for the Kindle? We're going to find that out in our 60-minute session together. Click the link in the comments below to book your free session. And between now and then, let's talk the 3-act structure. I have ghostwritten over 45 books, many of them memoirs, several of them novels. I'm also a published novelist myself. We always in the industry follow the 3-act structure. It takes a general story and turns it into something that is entertaining, that pulls people in, and is frankly a page turner. Think of the 3-act structure as your personal formula for writing a page turner. Pretty exciting, right? You don't have to waste time or energy or effort or money working on a story that's not got legs. Because this, my friends, is going to give you legs. Let's talk about how you're going to open your book. The very beginning of your book should be to give readers a sense of what's happening in the setting. This is all about the setting as the beginning. This could be anywhere from a sentence, a paragraph, to a page where you set up the who, the what, who's doing what, what's happening, when is this, is it now, is it the far-flung future, sci-fi fantasy, dystopian hellscape, is it in the past? And then where exactly is this happening? Is it an urban environment? Is it a post-apocalyptic, disease-ravaged landscape? Is it a Mediterranean island with azure waters? We need to get a sense of all of those things in the beginning so that we can make the most of the story. The last thing you want readers to be doing are asking themselves questions like, what the hell going on right here? So answer that question by writing the beginning very first. This could be a sentence, a paragraph, no more than a page. We need to get to the inciting incident as fast as possible. Think of the inciting incident as the status quo has now changed. So what does that look like? In Star Wars, the beginning is the Imperial ship, ship following Princess Leia's smaller ship. That's the beginning. You see, okay, we're out in space. It's a long time ago. And we see these spaceships. One's chasing after the other, firing at it, it's defending itself. The inciting incident is Darth Vader gets on board the spaceship and the droids go escape. That's in the first couple of minutes. The worst thing you want to do is spend 10 pages world building, characterizing. You need to know people. No one cares. If you can have the inciting incident on the first page, in the first paragraph, the first words of your freaking book, you are going to have an automatic page turner right out the gate. Second thoughts. This is where the status quo has changed, and your characters are debating, should I do anything about this? Going back to A New Hope, the Star Wars example. What were the second thoughts? The second thoughts are where Luke is thinking about wanting to go out and do something about the droids, but then he just waits, and it turns out that the second thoughts, him waiting, him not doing anything, and going and joining the rebellion with a lightsaber, It ends with the climax of Act 1, which is the murder of his aunt and uncle. It's on now. This is where, even if your protagonist, that is your main character, I'm not sure about this, Frodo Baggins, I wish the ring hadn't come to me. Maybe I could just get rid of it, pass it off to somebody else. We'll just give it to the elves. It'll be okay. And then disaster strikes. The climax of Act 1. This whole thing's got set up. There ain't no going back. So get there within the first 2, 3, 4, 5 chapters, depending on how long your inciting incident is going to need to be. We could talk about the specifics of your story in the 60-minute profitable book roadmap session. Next comes the confrontation. These should be pretty obvious. The ascending action, meaning more problems, obstacles, challenges come across the protagonist's path, set by the environment, set by circumstances, traps set up by the enemy, the antagonist. This is the orcs attacking. This is the ring wraiths attacking in Lord of the Rings. This is the various problems and Jabba the Hutt and Han Solo and all the shenanigans that happen between Luke deciding I'm going to go take out this Darth Vader character and actually seeing Darth Vader confront Obi-Wan and that little exchange there. That is all that went down there. The big point, the big twist, this is where everything changes. This is Gandalf seemingly passing away in Fellowship of the Ring. The guy who knew everything is gone. Obi-Wan, same thing. Interestingly enough, both of those stories, you have the wise old leader of the expedition disappearing. So now everyone is all twisted up and chaos goes crazy. So what is your big twist in your story? After this comes another obstacle that gets in the way, a complication, something that people were counting on, your character was counting on. An assumption is now dashed. It's now thrown out of the window. The disaster is where it seems like everything is lost. All progress on your protagonist's journey has now stopped, faced by a crisis. Now what are we going to do? We can't go that way. Where do we have left? This is both an internal crisis where the protagonist is questioning themselves, questioning assumptions, questioning the people that they had once trusted. And they find out, digging down deep, what they're going to do next. And that decision is the climax of Act 2. Followed by the climax of Act 3, the conclusion of the confrontation, the resolution. This is the destruction of the Death Star. This is the breaking of the Fellowship and Fellowship of the Ring. This is the two hobbits, Frodo and Sam, getting in the boat together, paddling off to take the dang ring there to Mount Doom themselves. And the descending action, bringing things back to normal. There are typically a couple of obstacles. There are some loose ends to tie up, frankly, which conclude with the denouement, the wrap-up, the unanswered questions that readers have had that you've introduced. Remember, if the shotgun's on the mantle in Act 1, you better see it used by Act 3. So what needs to be wrapped up? What are the loose ends, the questions that readers are going to be looking at your book going, wait a second, I thought something was going to happen with this character. Wait a second. What about this issue that came up at the very beginning of the book, halfway through? What's the resolution there? An example of this is all of the heroes receiving their medals in the end of A New Hope, right? You've got it literally being wrapped up. They're being honored as heroes of the rebellion. Frankly, that's the wrap-up. Luke is now officially a leader, a hero, a role model within the rebellion. So what's your wrap-up? And finally, the end. What is the riding off into the sunset, the paddling off into the sunset, the standing there on the stage, realizing you're the leader of the rebellion? What ends there? Some endings, because series of novels sell so ridiculously well, this needs to be the beginning, even the inciting incident of the next book. Think about that for a second. This thing is a circle. It is a yin and yang. It is the snake eating itself. This is a perpetual structure for your novels to come. Think about how you can write the inciting incident of your next book at the very end of your resolution. Sometimes this is called the epilogue. Perfect. And as you're thinking about what could fit for the inciting incident, the obstacle, the denouement, the midpoint, All you have to do to get clarity and answer those questions is meet face-to-face with me, not in person, handshakes, no thank you. Meet with me in my Zoom room for free. We are going to go through your profitable manuscript, your profitable book roadmap, and you're going to know how and where each of these corresponds. The 3-act story structure, where each of these things corresponds to the idea you've got cooking there for your book. You stay safe out there, stay healthy, and I will talk to you soon in my Zoom room. Just click the link below.